Today, I recognize that I ended up at Breakaway through the grace of God, but the things that I put myself through along the way, and the things that my environment and people in my life put me through along the way, were abuse in the forms of verbal, physical, emotional, high dysfunctionalism, my own addiction to crack cocaine over a 35-year period, consistently, and a savage sense of resentment towards God, myself, and life in general. And it showed up in my life, first and foremost, as a strong sense of disconnection from everything and everybody. I felt like I was alone against the world. I was convinced and embraced the illusion that I didn't fit in anywhere, and that God and everything and everybody else was against me. So those are the things that fueled my insanity, and my lack of trust in God, my lack of trust in people, and my lack of trust in love and in life. I wanted to kill myself. I didn't have the courage to do it outright, so I used drugs and every other thing that was ungodly I indulged in. If the devil had an army, I was surely one of his generals for a long, long time. I was already imprisoned inside myself, but what I didn't realize is when I got down into that crack house, I actually felt and saw death. I actually saw I had no hope in getting out. I was locked in and I couldn't get out.
Forgive me, Lord, when I'm weak and lost. For you traded heaven for a wooden cross. And all these years you carried me. You've been my eyes when I could not see.
I was coming down the street one day and I happened to see a young lady by the name of Hannon. I didn't know who she was, but I began to speak to her because about 2 days earlier, I was coming by this place, the Breakaway, and there was a guy standing out there, and I saw a look on his face. To me, as deep as I was in my addiction, it looked like he had a glow on his face to me. And I was curious about it. And I asked him, what do you do? Who are you? How did you get that glow on your face? And he laughed about it. He said, well, I don't know that I have a glow on my face, but I've got X amount of recovery. I stay here in the Breakaway, and I've been working the program, and he told me his life story, and I found a lot of parallels in it. A couple of days later, I ran into Chris, and she began to speak to me. She dropped little seeds. It wasn't so much as what she said as what I felt. Her spirit impacted me in a way that I'd never been impacted before. I felt a sense of serenity. I felt a sense of hope. I told her some things that I considered very ugly about myself and my history. She didn't even flinch. She didn't even judge it. It was like, and? So I couldn't comprehend her. I couldn't comprehend what was coming from her, just like I couldn't comprehend the glow on Jeff's face. But I knew that I wanted to be a part of it, and I knew that I had a hunger for it. I still didn't have the hope that I could get it. Chris convinced me that I deserved this, that it was my right to have it. In fact, it was a God-given right. That was too high above my head right there. I couldn't even deal with that. And I knew, I said, she don't know me. She don't know me like I know me. God don't want no parts of me. And this sister's really trying to help. She's wasting her time, but she wasn't. I began to feel terrible about putting that rock on that pipe and smoking. I began to have a whole different feeling about it. I had a lot of anxiety about it. I had a lot of pain around smoking it that transcended the pain that I had that caused me to smoke it in the first place. So she opened the doors of this house, the Breakaway, to me. The guys rallied around me and embraced me, and this terrified me because it suggested, I didn't trust them. I knew all of them had hidden agendas. It suggested to me that I was wrong And there is a such thing as unconditional love, compassion, acceptance, second and third chances. And it scared me because I couldn't fight. I didn't have no defense for it. So I felt vulnerable. It wrecked me. How do you fight love? How do you fight unconditional love? How can you defend against acceptance and support? So eventually, I just took a chance. I just said, you know what? It can't hurt me no worse than I'd already been hurt. I didn't trust any of them. I couldn't figure out what their motive was, and if they had a hidden agenda, I couldn't find it. So I just gave it a shot. And slowly but surely, I began to trust. Everything that Chris would say, she did. She even did things for me that she never said, that I recognized. They have supported me in ways that I've never been supported before. They show me a part of life and love that I never knew existed. And not only that, they helped me in realizing that it was God working all the time through them. The person and entity that I hated, that I held in contempt, God himself had enough love for me to give me that shot to see past my ignorance and my fear and my pain and my addiction and my shortcomings and accept me for who I was. And the biggest thing about it is my peers and the people here accepted me too. Today, I struggle with a lot of my past, but I struggle with the support of the people in Breakaway, and I struggle with the support of God. With those extra things of support, it makes all the difference. All the other things, I don't go back. I don't even desire to smoke crack anymore. Whenever it comes to my mind, I laugh at the suggestion because I know where that'll take me, and I know what that is. I may have to live with this the rest of my life. I don't fear that as long as I got God and support from Breakaway in my life. I know that I can make it today. Today, I'm recognizing that his son, Jesus Christ, had an indescribable message of love. I'm beginning to understand just the fractional amounts of it, but that's enough to sustain me and support me. That's enough to sustain my hope. That's enough to sustain my faith. It has literally been like being reborn on every level. It truly has. It is an amazing experience. It is a holy journey for me. And I never thought I could do this with other people, with the support of other people. I believe in life again. I'm believing in love. God says that I'm worthy of love because I am love, and I am love because it's a part of him. In and of myself, I'm nothing. But with him, I can be everything that he needs me to be. And today, I'm willing to do that. I am so grateful eternally to God himself, who has manifested himself in my life through the Breakaway, through Chris, through yourself, through everybody here, because he gave me the chances today that I wasn't even willing to give myself. And I thank you for that. That's all I got.
Your grace is shining.